I'm gonna get into Jax.
So, how's everybody doing in the chat?
Everybody, one person in the chat, not sure who that is. It might be me.
All right. Well, here's
How'd you
Jared,
get on
Tracey,
chat?
and here's Jax, my co-host. And
Realize.
What? What's he need?
No, in the live chat, we have an interview right now. That's Jared.
Yo.
That's my son.
he's the man.
He's a big supporter of the channel. My whole family's in it.
Try.
Oh
Whole
yeah.
family.
Hawk, you late? I was like, I'm not late. I just started, Hawk.
He's in here.
So
Boy, ain't
yeah.
right.
How's the weather in there?
Oh man, it's cold at night and it's hot during the afternoon. Hello, Brent. How's it going? Welcome. So we'll just chit chat for now until more people come in, and then, like I said, so how's the weather over there? Because I know you're somewhere else.
Humid. Ugh,
It's humid.
Maryland weather. Maryland weather
Yeah.
is ridiculous. It's October and it's 79 degrees and it feels like 90. Ugh, it's horrible.
Oh wow.
My girlfriend knows that. Ugh.
Well, no, because I know it's probably snows over there too when it does. Hey, Bat Rican.
We get yeah.
Hey, Wolf Noun. How's it going, man?
Hey, Wolf. Ham, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? Well, we'll go ahead and start. So Jared, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your channel before we start. And what do you do?
You know, it's a combination of things we do. We post a lot of older investigations. I've been investigating with Brent that's in the chat for about 25 years. And we got some of our older captures on there. We have some Civil War ITC sessions where we do ITC sessions on the battlefields, because being in Maryland, we're close to all that stuff. And we also will be having documentaries coming up from investigations.
Yeah.
So that'll be too.
So I heard you do like residential.
Yeah, well,
as
when
well.
when we were younger, we would do residential cases like back 6-7 years ago. Right now, like, my eyes on the prize of the big historian.
Yeah.
Like, being the history buff that I am, I love history. My eyes do. Looking these locations around us that are historical, and when somebody sees the video, they're going to be like, they got in there?
I know, right?
So that's what my eyes are going.
You can use Jared's house spot.
Yeah. So go into a little bit about your investigations. How do you start them off?
Typically, what we do is I like to. Well, Brent's in South Carolina, and Ed Harden, he's another member of the group, but it's just me going to a site, do an initial site walkthrough with the Investigator to find the hot spots and the energy levels, and see where natural energy levels are happening with faulty wiring, electrical, or where anomalous K2 are coming from.
Yeah.
And do EVP sets. So, we contact the site. We say, hey, we'd like to investigate your spot. These are the places that we've done. Talk to them. Typically, they say, okay, we're going to do it. And we go in and start the initial.
Do you always like do you do sort of like look up like sort of look up the place, how it used to be and stuff like that, like doing history checks and stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, the good thing about working in historical societies and these historical locations,
Yeah.
is they have all the history already, and all you say is,
Okay.
can you give me the history?
I know, right? Well, because I know when you. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying
go ahead,
because
bud.
just like I know most of them like old locations and stuff like that, and I know sometimes it's not always paranormal. Sometimes I guess you got to always debunk stuff, if something flies open, or they could be a rodent or anything, especially like if they investigate, they got to turn off all the lights, and it takes forever for the electricity to turn off. And you always got your KT. I'm not very big on these meters, but K2 meter, right? Always got to, put it somewhere and everything on the wall. It could be like a Columbine fence. It could be something metal that can give off that reading, right? How do you tell between a spirit and like? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why we do an initial walkthrough. Somebody likes Three Doors Down.
All right.
But
hey, Christina.
Yeah, that's why we do the initial walkthrough, to find those faulties and to find the false positives, and see where the faulty wiring is and what might be causing the false reading. But
right. So, can you show us some equipment you use during the investigation? Start off like that.
Sure. Jax will get to the Echo Box here soon.
I know she likes that one.
That's my favorite.
Hey, the story of Dory. How's it going? Thanks for all being here.
These are Pasadena Paranormal Spirit Box. It's the PSB7, and we have, if you notice right here, it's detuned. The antenna's gone. So
okay.
That will eliminate any radio blip.
Now, is that sort of like a radio in between just white noise?
Typically, with an SB7, it's radio. It's a radio. If you put it on a radio station that you have in Texas, it'll play the radio station.
Okay. So with the radio. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Go ahead. You're good. No, you're good. Go
ahead. Okay. With the radio station, right? I know it picks up like songs and such, but how do you tell if it's speaking to you? It could be sort of like a radio station, like how they have like on-air radio stations, how they talk to each other. Mm-hmm. How do we know that's a spirit though, and not the?
That's why we take the.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go.
It makes the so much easier when you know that doesn't get radio because the antenna's on.
Oh, okay. I thought I didn't know that. I mean, I don't do the technical stuff.
Ours is completely, it's gone. The antenna is.
Okay.
God.
Okay, but I mean, in every investigation, you go by feeling. It's dark. You don't have the flashlights. I know you're telling me on when we're talking by ourselves. You're telling me that you use what do you call those things? Or I'm not very good on the equipment. When you go into investigation and you just see infrared. I think it was you told me. I think right. Go to explain that. I'm not really good on. Yeah, there you go.
Infrared cameras.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we use. When we investigate, we do not investigate with any light. I want it possible for two reasons. I want the visible light spectrum to be gone because we feel that the spirits live inside of a visible light spectrum, UV, IR.
Yeah.
So we want to capture the images when possible in those lights to prove that theory. And it's worked so far. Got some good stuff.
Yeah.
And I also like to use no light because I've always said when there's no lights, I see better.
Your senses, yeah.
My senses are heightened. My hearing, my openness to what is happening is heightened.
Yeah.
My feeling of what is in the room. If a blind person, they know somebody standing next to them. because they feel them. You turn those lights off, there's nobody there, but they're there. You can feel it.
Now, a question about that. Okay. Let's say you go in there, they turn the electricity off, right? And all you see is darkness, and your focus, your only thing how you're seeing is your little camera looking thingy, you know. But I want to know is like you got to give your eyes time to adjust before you see anything. Because let's say I turn on my light, it's going to be something in front of you. You don't know if it's a spirit, it's just your eyes. You know how long? I mean, how long does it take for your eyes to adjust in the dark? You know, and you can see things maybe.
For me, it's actually pretty quickly within the first 5-10 minutes when those lights go off, and my eyes adjust, and I start to see shadows. I
Oh,
start
wow.
to see depth, and the brightness of the LED on the camera doesn't really affect my eye. The reason it doesn't blur my vision. So when I pull it down, I'm good to go. You know, but momentarily, I can start seeing depth in things.
Now, let me ask you a question. Okay, when you sense a spirit and feel a spirit, do you always get like the jibby wibbies, like with your hair standing up on your skin, or it's just you just see them? I mean, it's different for everybody's experience. How's your experience when you feel they're there?
When I'm next, or when I feel the presence of, I start to get a really really heavy feeling, like right inside of here, like in my breastbone
Hmm.
and my upper arm get really goosebumps. I mean, they get real goosebumps. Like
Wow.
you can see the hair follicles just get up. And that's when I'm like, oh, there's somebody over there. I
Wow.
felt that.
Have you ever been scratched?
No, I've never been physically scratched, and you know, we like I've said a couple times, we've been on hundreds of investigations, and I don't think I've ever ran across a demon either. We ran across entities that like to push and pull and pull my shirt almost off one time, uh, but never scratched.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people like saying, "Oh, they use that big word demon every single time something's thrown at them." You know, like as a spirit, like to be a spirit. I mean, imagine that spirit going through their own torment, and you're trying to communicate. Of course, they're going to try to throw something at that thing, but they don't know they're throwing it at you. You got to think about it in a different view. I mean, you know, um,
Yeah.
have you like, what can you tell the difference between a ghost and a spirit? Because I know you talk to some of them on your
Hmm.
meter. Or yeah,
Yeah. I I consider them both the same. Um,
yeah,
spirit and ghost. I never say ghost. Well, that's like a child's name to me.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
always
know, right? Casper.
I always call them spirits. It's just something I've done for the longest time. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. Now, I know you do like kind of like whenever you go on the property and everything on there, you got a checklist and make sure you know everything's there, such as your equipment and stuff like that. Do you do that before you go in there?
Yep, we sure do. We make sure we got everything, and we are always given 45 minutes to clean up. So we
Yeah.
go through all right, this. We got this. Good to go. Say our
So,
prayer, and you can follow us home.
well, see, but do you have any protection with that, like crosses or anything, or?
Yeah,
Um,
no, well, I do have my cross. I always have my cross on me. Um, we're a religious group. Most
mhm,
me and Brent are, for the most part. Um, so we do say a protection prayer at the beginning and at the
mhm.
end. And I feel as long as my faith is strong and my spirit the most dominant in the room, I'll be fine, and my team will be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to working with the team. Okay.
Yep.
Let's say you're let's throw an example. You're You're walking in. You got one guy over here, one guy over here, one guy over here, one behind you. And then they make a noise. And do you guys communicate? Say, hey, that's me. Can you put that in the recorder? Because a lot of groups, they just put anything in there, and they're like, oh my god, that's something. Or if a door shuts, oh, that's something. Can you give me a little like anything that happened like that before? Or
that we've learned a long time ago. If you make a noise, call it out. So if you heard raw audio that we go through in the review process, you'll hear a lot of that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
Time mark.
It's like exactly. It's like not everything bumping creaking night is paranormal. You always got to make sure to go to it and debunk it. If you can't, then it is paranormal.
Yep. And like I said in our you should have seen some of the processes, the review process that me and Brent went through before. But we're very close. We're like brothers. One time we got really mad at each other because I wanted to say something was paranormal and he didn't want to, and it turned into all right, whatever, I'm leaving.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference between when you go to investigation? I know some of it's owned by the government and some of it's just owned by private. Like, what's the difference between that?
You mean getting the access?
Access, with the government and everything. Because I know some of it's historical and some of it's not.
Yeah, so most of the ones that we work with, the historical societies or museums.
Yeah.
But we are working with national parks right now. You have to go through an entire process. They have to approve you. They have to go through a second approval. We made it through the first approval. We're working our way through that. It's a nightmare. The first approval is $50, no matter what, if you're approved or declined. So then it moves on to a $200 price.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah. But it's worth it. I mean, if you have to pay that, especially if it's historical.
Yeah. So what we do, I always give when I go into a location, I always give a donation to the location. I'm saying cash money too. I have a triple digit donation for the property, the historical site, for letting us in, and we offer them public ghost tours.
Oh wow, cool! And that's also good for. It's also good for their business too. People are going to go back to it.
Oh yeah, we used to do so many public ghost tours where we would make $500, $600 a night for each place, and we would never get any of the money. All the money goes to the place for allowing us to facility as a research center.
Oh wow, that's crazy. I was watching a couple.
If you're ever in Maryland, man, let me know when you're in Maryland. I'll try to get one started.
Oh, that would be awesome. Now let's talk about Gettysburg. I know that you went to the battlefield and stuff like that. What kind of stuff have you caught?
So have you seen the Jenny Wade videos and the orphanage videos?
I did.
Those two places. I mean, just walking into them, you could tell, hey, we're not the only ones here. There's somebody here. Nobody you could see. Just dark, sad. Dreadful feelings in both locations.
You can feel that.
But
man, it makes you think though. I mean, it makes you think all the death that's happened and stuff like that. I forgot that location we were talking about earlier on YouTube. What was it? Yeah, that one. I think I caught something, but I want to make sure I'm not gonna show anything until you're for sure about it.
I haven't had the chance to look at it. Like I told you, it's a possibility. It's interesting. I'd like to get into the original video that hasn't been edited with the work in it, because that is at full 1080 HD. So I'll be able to see if that was tree line. The trees moving a little bit of sun coming in there. So interesting. I see what you guys seen. I was like, hold on a second.
It was crazy, man. The face was just like, it's like every time the box would talk, it would talk.
It's a good possibility, because like I tried to say the history of that place. That was the Battle of Bull Run. There was so many. There was 5,000 men laid out in in tourniquets and in the house, dying and injured. And that Miss Lucinda Dugan, she was doing her best to take care of them, but
Yeah.
what did she do?
Yeah, but you gotta also think about the history that happened on the house and the land that the land that sits on top of the house. If something else was there before, that maybe caused everybody to fight, over that land or whatever they did.
Now that was all
It could have
Civil
been,
War. That was all Civil
yeah,
War.
but
That land out.
yeah, but it could be. I mean, it could have been before the Civil War. It could have been the Indian property. It could have been any kind of property of, it could have been haunted, as far as we know.
Manassas was a huge. I think it was Piscataway. Indian.
I looked at the video several times looking from maybe the tree, like it could be the tree blur, or it could be something casting it. No. That you caught something. You caught something you didn't realize you caught. That was a good catch.
Yeah,
It was a very
like I said,
good catch. I mean, you were first of all, you weren't facing the window. I watched the video. I rewound it forward, rewound it forward, rewound it forward. I'm going, nope, that's what it is. It's a spirit, because the way it came in and the way it faded out, and then you could actually, like, if you paid close attention, I have a big 65-inch TV. That wasn't escaping my eyeballs. You could see the mouth moving as if you were asking the questions on the echo box. It was like kind of relaying the messages back to you, but it was top panel window, right corner, just barely came out enough to say, I'm here. You can't see me, but I can see you, kind of thing. But I'm not sure if it was a man. I think it was a woman. Eli thinks it's a man.
It could be either because of the history of the location. But Brandon,
You can see the mustache.
Video, look at that, please.
I would play the video, but I have to have your permission. But yeah, I'll let you look into it more. So
I know Brent's in the chat, so I was just telling him to give that an extra look. See.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that yet. I know you take first aid kits, I hope, to an investigation. Like, okay, I know you won't get hurt at a place that that's owned by residents or something like that. Well, I'm talking about, like, let's say you're driving down with your friend Brent and you see an old abandoned house and you're like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, I wanna go check that out. Like, would you ever go? Would you do the history right away, or would you give it a little bit of time to see what it is? Because you never know if there's cameras, guard dogs, homeless people, like. Sorry, go ahead.
We all have top secret security clearances for the day job.
Yeah.
We can't pass.
Why are you doing?
Trespassing is not a good thing for the day job.
But that'd be wild. I mean, just going in a place that has never been discovered and like feeling like all the feelings, all the old furniture. I mean the old Christmas tree still being up from the last family that's been there, plates, molded food. I don't think it's probably that molded, but like opening. Sorry.
I've seen a bunch of cool videos. I know Wolf does a lot of cool stuff in the abandoned, and I'd love to. It would be cool. And Wolf does do good stuff out there in North Carolina.
He does.
Abandoned stuff.
What I want to know is what he was running from that night. That is wild.
Yeah, well,
come on up. Nah, just kidding.
Thank you, Brent. I'm sorry.
Hey, Brent, what's going on, man?
Sorry, guys. I'm new to this, and I didn't know the comments were in the right-hand corner.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you, man. If you don't want to subscribe to my channel, we go. Do you let family members? Do you let your family members know like where you're at? Like, let's say you go to that messed up place you don't even know. I mean, let's just say, let's just give it an example. Let's say you and Brent say, "Fuck it, let's just go." Excuse my language.
Yeah, if I was going someplace that was going to be a little bit dangerous, then I would definitely let somebody know. That's for sure. So you never know what's going to happen. There's, like you said, there could be homeless guys there.
Yeah, exactly.
People
Rodents.
haunts.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't go. I would not go into a location like that.
I'd rather sit here in the paranormal office and work on getting investigations that I know that I'm not going to get kicked out of.
Exactly. Now, okay, have you ever seen like a full blown apparition? I got a question for that.
I've seen a few. So, like I said, started off. I'm old school. We've been in this for 25 years, on and off, since we were 16.
Mm-hmm.
The first apparition that I seen was the one that caused me to be what I am today, and do what we do. And it was my father. My father passed away when I was 16, and or actually 14, and I would go to the graveyard and I would clean off his headstone, and that grows over top of it and all that stuff. So I would clean it off every weekend, talk to the headstone, Dad, how you doing? Thinking to myself, being religious, whatever happened to Dad? Is he okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so I look up one day, and I'll be damned if he wasn't sitting on the back of my car, leaning on the back fender with his arms crossed.
Yeah.
He went and gave me a head nod in the same clothes he was buried in. And I went, and if I did that, he was gone.
Wow.
That's when I stood up and said, I have to figure out how that happened.
So do you feel he was your guardian angel, or you think?
I felt my dad just letting me know that he's okay. And we have this, me and Brent, our team, we have this theory that a lot of people have been told wrong, and when they pass on, they don't understand where they're at.
Yeah.
So nowhere in the Bible does it say that when we die we go to heaven.
Yeah.
The Bible doesn't say that.
Exactly.
I feel that there's a probation period, and these people that are saying that they're stuck, they don't understand. They thought that when they die they go to heaven. Why am I here? Why am I?
I agree. I agree, because when I died, I didn't remember nothing. I just woke up in the void. It was like a lot of people screaming, help me, God, help me. And then I ended up. That's it. I ended up, because I didn't know how I died, and people were just poking me and everything else, and living through my own hell. Hey, Val.
He's not being a bad God. He's not being a bad guy. He's not, because this is. But your story, Eli.
I'll be back. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Good?
He left me. Yeah, we're good. Go. He'll be back.
I wanted to hear his story.
His story. Oh, he'll tell his story. But you didn't tell everybody about the echo box. See, I'm waiting for the echo box. Show me the echo box. Forget Eli. He don't get to see the echo box.
All right. So, who wants to see the echo box? Jax, I should throw this into your investigation.
You know what? I'm gonna have to buy it because I like it.
It's an app-based technology. Well, I use two app-based technologies. We use two in our investigation: Echo Box and the Scottish Paranormal Spirit Box app.
Okay.
There's actually two versions of the Echo Box. You got the old 2.0, and you have the new 3.0. It looks like that.
You were running the 2.0 the other night, right?
Yeah, that was the 2.0 at Dugan. The 3.0 has the.
And
reverb.
Do you need a tablet to run it, or can you run it on a phone?
You can do it on the phone, but what I like to do is I like to take everything out of it. So my tablet doesn't have any contacts, doesn't have any information.
Gotcha.
Except
so blank, like a whitewashed phone.
Exactly. It doesn't have any service. Why do nothing? So I like. You'll have the 6 banks here. you set them, start your echo, and you can hear yourself in there because it's creating a constant loop through
Gotcha.
the speaker and the echo captures it, brings it inside, and spits it back out. That's where the real-time EVPs come from.
Gotcha.
You have
That's
other
pretty
stuff.
neat. I mean, that's the first time I've seen it.
This thing's been around for about 8 years. There you go.
See, I told my boyfriend, I said, baby, I don't care how much it costs. I'm getting the Echo Box. He goes, okay.
There you go. That ought to sound nice to you.
Yeah, I like that. So I have like old phones that I can just whitewash off there, wash, and you know, like my grandsons, I let them play with phones. I'll just whitewash one of them.
What I would do is is it Android?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, do Android because Danny has not came out with the update for the Apple version.
Okay. Yeah, I only have Androids.
Yep, definitely the Android is the best version of the app because it's up
And
to date.
where do you find that, in Google or the Play Store?
Google Play Store. Yep, that's
Okay.
the Google App Store. They got it, or the Play Store.
Okay.
Yep, I would definitely go ahead and because and we're going to do a show this evening that will air Monday on the function of the Echo Box. So if you want to watch,
Oh, nice.
we're gonna do a.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And it's what, $20?
$19.99. Yep. And
That's
it's
not
worth
bad.
every penny of it. I mean, I've caught some really good stuff through the years with this thing. I used to love the Spirit Box. The Spirit Box was my thing back in the day. And then this thing came along, and I was like, "Get out of here, Spirit Box."
Well, when something works, it works. Don't, you know, some people like when I run my necrophonic, everybody has different experiences with necrophonic. Sometimes you get clear, sometimes you don't get clear. Like sometimes I'll get I'll hear nothing. I'll just hear silence and then I'll hear words. But sometimes listen for what's in between the words is when you really hear the stuff. But that Echo Box is pretty darn clear.
With the Echo Box, what is really cool, and hopefully we'll be able to post this documentary because that we did the other day. We actually caught singing through the Echo, which is a real-time EVP of church hymns. They were singing church hymns.
Wow. That's awesome.
I heard it real time. Who was in the chat too, my other investigator, me and him heard it real time, and I was like, this is crazy. They are singing hymns through the Echo.
That's awesome though. I mean, if you have an app like that and you can hear those things and you're still hearing it, but that thing is just as clear as you hearing it.
Yep. Yeah. So
that's worth every penny.
And asks, what hymn are you singing? And the Echo Box goes, right hand at his throne. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, so it is definitely worth it. I just want to let you know, it's been sitting here running the whole time we're sitting here talking. I sure hear it on and off.
I'm back. Sorry, the phone call.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it running in the background, but it's clear.
Oh man, that
it's
one, yeah.
Word. You missed the Echo Box.
Yeah, but how much does that cost?
I'm gonna get the Echo Box. It's $20. $20.
Not bad.
I remember.
Hold on a second.
Remember Ryan O'Neill from Haunted Scotland, who created the Scottish Paranormal Spirit Box app, turned me on to this about 8 years ago. He was like, "Dude, you got to try this thing. We've been using it over here. It's speaking Scottish." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's made in Connecticut. It's speaking Scottish over here." You know, the responses that were Echo Box in Scotland had the Scottish accent.
Oh wow!
Wow.
No, let me ask you a question.
How long have you been investigating, like paranormal? How long have you been in this field?
On and off for 20 years.
Oh wow!
Nice.
23. That's not
I'm
bad.
42.
Now, can I ask you a question with that? Let's say it talks a different language. I know it gives you an option to choose English and other
Nope,
languages. No, it doesn't.
nope, not that. It
How do you
has
translate it?
it has 6 speed sound banks. The noise chopped up into small intervals and then thrown out in a random pattern.
Oh
No,
wow.
no language whatsoever. But for our last investigation, the 25th of September, we did Howard County Historical Society. It's a 1847 Presbyterian church,
Mm.
and we
Oh
captured German EVPs before. And
wow.
my
I haven't
girl,
seen that one.
she was you haven't seen that one?
No, I haven't.
It's on the channel. Yeah, go
I gotta
type on
check
the
it
channel.
out.
It says Goots about the War of 1812, and it is known that Maryland was a huge population of Hesse soldiers that were hired by the British
Mm.
from Germany to help fight America. And
Wow.
I'm talking about the War of 1812, and he says Gut Zeit, like it was a good time.
Wow. Let me ask you something about churches. Like, I
Uh,
know a lot of people used back then used to go there just so they could feel safe. You know what I mean? Um, why are they haunted? I don't get it. Like, I mean, isn't supposed to be sacred for any churches to be? You know, like for people, to go
you also
to.
got, you got to think, like, again, going back to that theory where we think that they don't know where they're at. If you don't know where you're at and you want to go to heaven, you're going to go to a church,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
for
that's
a
where
safe haven.
God's hope, right? I mean, God,
Exactly, it is.
right? So
It is.
that's why these churches, these old abandoned churches, are always so active because that's where they want to be. Um,
Yeah.
it's crazy. That place. Before you left, you said if we ever took in our family members on it.
Yeah.
Let me know in the chat if you're okay with me talking about this. I got the chat. I can't.
Okay.
Brent, are you good
Oh,
with me
Brent.
talking about county?
He hasn't said nothing else. So. Oh no,
All
I
right.
was
Well,
gonna. Go ahead. Go ahead. While we were waiting, I was gonna say. Do you think then people that died around the churches? Do you think they don't mean to haunt it, or it's just they're trying to still look for that safe haven in that church?
yep. I think
I don't know what that
still
means, but
they're still they're still looking for their way out. But
yeah.
that Howard County, I won't say his name. How about that, Brent? We had Brent's son with us, a junior investigator. And what's up, Three Souls?
What's up,
Um,
Rizos?
what up, Paul?
What's up?
We had Brent's son with on an a junior investigator,
Mhm.
and you've seen the obvious video today, right?
Yeah.
The box work. This thing is yelling for Brent to come upstairs because Brent was in the basement. Come upstairs, get Brent. That video is also on the channel. Watch it. The obvious goes crazy, but it's yelling at us to get Brent to come upstairs for some reason, right? And I'm like, Brent, this thing is to come upstairs, and it turns out that Brent's son literally is on the ground in the next room, and he could not get up, physically taken to the ground. And this Ovilus, the spirit, was talking through a foreign device, telling us,
Mhm.
get up here and get it outside.
Wow, that is
When
crazy.
I picked him up, he had the 1,000-mile stare. He was gone. So he had to, we took him outside and cleared that and came back and faced it. But yeah, that was a church.
Yeah, but what? But have you ever seen like those glass windows? Have you seen some intact before, or is that just only in Catholic churches?
No, not. It's our Facebook page. We got pictures of the investigation from 25th.
Okay.
Pasadena Paranormal. If you go to Pasadena Paranormal Facebook page, there's pictures of the church, and you see beautiful big stained glass windows. All
Wow. It's
it was,
crazy.
and we call
I
it
mean, imagine if you touched.
crazy light anomaly.
Wow. Wow. But imagine if you were to touch that glass, what kind of energy you can get off of it? Like the vibration and the, I mean, it's amazing how many people touched that in the past. Like, I mean,
Yep. And
amazing.
it's funny because that the church has got this main pew area, and it has this big horseshoe in the back of it. I'm sitting there and I'm looking out, and there's one of those big stained glass windows, and I could see Head and Shoulders go over it like twice. Just a reprint of, I guess, people coming in the church and going around that horseshoe. I've seen it with my own eyes. Two Head and Shoulders just passed right in front of the window. I was like,
wow. That is nuts. I would have been like, wow. I mean, has anything ever followed you home in any location?
yes, it has. And like Hawk Paranormal, since I was 16 years old, so 25 years, bud.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I fear that happened, and it brought some things into my life that I didn't want, and that's one of the reasons why we stepped away 6 years to clear my head after the things that happened. But yeah, it can definitely happen. So that's why I learned that we need to protect ourselves going into these places. This might be fun and game, but it'll do. So don't go into some place unprotected, and you better have a strong spirit to go into these locations.
Yeah. How about like prayer? Like, I mean, like, do you also pray?
We pray at the beginning, and we pray at the end to protect us going in, and to protect us getting home, and to leave whatever residual imprint is on me or us where it's supposed to be here. Hey, Courtney, how are you?
What's up, Wicked Encrypted? How's it going? Have you because I know when you go in every location, I don't know if it's old or new. I mean, and it's kind of hard to wipe off all this graffiti and everything. Like, have you ever went on a property and seen graffiti? Like, I mean, what types of stuff have you seen?
As for graffiti, like, I mean, when we were younger, yeah, like, there's a 4 walls. There was a place called Creepy College that we'd go when we were younger. And there's actually a place to go. It's called Daniels. If anybody wants to check this place out, it's actually pretty cool. It was a little town that was destroyed by a flood. It's called Daniels, Maryland. That place has been graffiti done, but boy, does it look cool.
Wow.
I'm gonna go there and do a daytime because it's not, you're not trespassing there. It is a state park now, so you can still go there and do your sessions. And
Have you ever tried dowsing rods?
I just bought some for these public ghost tours that are coming. Pretty cool. My other best Ed Harden has used them. I don't think he's too fond of them. They're very easy to manipulate, but if somebody's using them correctly, I can see how they could work because copper is an inductor. So it could, energy could induct movement out of them. I can see that happening. We use a lot of the flashlight theory, and Ed is very good at it, and I think he turned Brent into a believer last time we were investigating.
Yeah, but you guys also be careful with the rods too, because they can tell where the water's at and everything else. And I mean, I think that's right. Isn't it? I mean, that's how they did that.
I think because rods are copper. The rods are copper.
Yeah, copper. Yeah.
And the movement of the rod is caused by the electromagnetic energy that's being sucked into them. That's what I think.
Well, how about
Hey, hold on a sec. Hey, Hawk, I see.
Oh
I
yeah,
can see
yeah.
full bodies and shadows.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, I should be
Yeah, I
sorry.
can see full
No, you're
bodies and
good.
shadows. Go ahead. Go ahead, Eli.
No, you're good. I didn't see his message. I should have brought it up.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I
Um.
answered.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna ask you about the Necrophonic Box app. I don't know if you guys talked about it yet. That,
We
I mean,
haven't thrown it into the rotation yet. You know, we just got back into the field after a little break about 3 or 4 months ago, and I know for a fact that this guy works.
wow. Cool.
But we're always trying to test out different things. So I'm going to look into Ed. I think we might have to look into the necrophonic eventually. So let's put that on the.
I think it's like $10 on the
But I see
on
a
your
lot of
phone.
people using it. I do see
Oh yeah.
some good responses coming out of it. So yeah.
Cool. Nice. How about the flashlight method?
But yeah, we'll think about this here. Yeah, like I was saying, Ed Harden, or my investigator Ed, introduced.
Mhm.
Oh, we've known about it. But Ed really likes to use it. Ed's a sensitive, and he likes to use the flashlight method, and he gets some really good interactions out of it. We've got some really direct, and like I said, if we can post this damn here soon, you'll see some cool flashlight sessions. And the last investigation on the 25th was loaded with flashlight sessions.
Wow.
And we got some really cool direct responses with the flashlight, where the flashlight would be like and turn on and then die real slow.
But let me ask you a question. How does it
great.
work? Can you like show us like can you show us how
Yeah,
maybe
so
the
Ed,
spirit turns it
thank you
on?
for well, if you think about it, it's the flashlight is you have to twist it to close the circuit. It's electric.
Mm-hmm.
To close the circuit is going to close the circle and complete the circle and let the light go.
Yeah.
So the spirit is made of electromagnetic energy, like we all think about, right? We all think spirits are made out of electromagnetic energy. If that contact is open, the spirit touches it, closing the circuit, allowing that light to come through. Basic electronics.
Okay.
It's not like it's actually turning the flashlight. It's completing the circuit.
Yeah, because I mean, I see some investigators they unscrew it so they can help or something like that. Unloosen it so the spirits can turn it.
What Ed does is he's got a mag light, little mini mag. He turns it to where it's just at the point. If you touch it, it will turn on.
Oh wow. Okay.
So if the spirit's made out of EMF, spirit touches that flashlight, it's completing the circuit and letting the electric, send down the line. Very, it's an old school technique, but it's cool. I'm glad that it's in our repertoire now.
Oh yeah. How about Ouija boards? Have you ever messed with one of them?
We don't.
Okay. All right. Cool. Just a question. Hey, Clint.
We're a respectable group. We don't do Ouija.
Okay. All right. Cool. Have you ever dealt with anything that had an attachment to it? And how do you get rid of it? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We were doing a home investigation, and you'll be blown away by this one, Eli. We were doing an investigation. It was on Piscataway Indian Territory land. Hawk called the Echo Box, and I suggest you use it as well.
Clint, what's going on, dude?
My my favorite ITC device. But anyway, going back, yes, they are Flint. Going back, we did a investigation of it was in La Plata that was on a Piscataway Indian land, and the guy was a civil, right? And everything was fine until he brought this sword that was in the Battle of Gettysburg home. Next thing you know, he's getting tripped up the steps, pushed down the steps, things like that, like feeling like somebody standing behind him, breathing down his neck. So they called us out there, and you're gonna like this one. So I'm calling out who is down in the basement where the sword is, because I have a feeling that this sword is the reason for the haunt.
Yeah.
So I'm provoking a little bit, and I shouldn't have been, because I should have been respectful. But the next morning after the investigation, you can ask my son, I could not walk for 4 days.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Like, I was dragging my leg, like I was in the leg with a sword for 4 days.
Wow.
It was crazy. Brent can attest to this as well, because he was there.
Wow. I got a question for you. I mean, would you ever, if your son ever wanted to investigate, like be like you, investigating, would you ever show him how to do it the right way?
Oh yeah, and like I said before, we showed Cody with or Brent's son. I would show Dalton. Yeah, I mean, they need more people that will do it the right way. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing it the right way. There's a lot of people that aren't. But yeah, I would definitely, if he showed an interest, I would definitely put.
Nice. Well, some people don't like it. I mean, sorry.
He actually participated a little bit here and there.
Okay.
We have this location with Tommy. He's a 9-year-old boy. At the time, my son was 9 years old, and him and Tommy always seemed to play around with each other when Colton was in the house. And Colton asked Tommy to move his truck. And I'll be damned if the truck didn't slide across the room.
Wow.
My son ran out the back door.
Nah, hell no. Especially if like
he rolled out.
Yeah, no. How about basements? Have you ever been to a haunted basement?
Brent loves haunted basements, but we have been to a few. That is where my my shirt got pulled off, or almost pulled off. I mean, literally, it pulled the tail of my shirt so much that it jumped, and that was probably the only time that I was truly scared on an investigation, because I jumped and I ran up the stairs.
Wow!
Oh, you should have seen the edited video of that, because I would have pacing back and forth. I ran upstairs. I sat the camera down, and I'm trying to collect myself. I'm walking with them. What the? The edited video.
Hell no.
I was scared shitless.
I would too. Seeing all that.
Actually, that's probably the first time it ever happened, but I was legitimately scared, because I knew I was the only one in the basement.
Wow. How about haunted mirrors? Do you think they're a gateway to the other side?
It could be. I know that in the Jenny Wade, one of the videos from Pittsburgh that you watched, one of the video has a mirror in it. And that mirror is said to have the image of Jenny in it. So that's why we set that camera up. And that's where we caught that Now They Know disembodied voice that Brent hears and rolls out the other side of the room. So So yeah, mirrors definitely I think would be, especially if there's an attachment to them. Say somebody loves themselves in the mirror and brushing their hair all the time back in the 1800s, 1700s, and you know what? I love this mirror so much that I'm just going to stay with it.
Wow, it's crazy. Especially like a comb or something, like a comb from the 1800s. Like,
Well,
imagine.
dude,
Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. I got something though. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I know
So
you're thinking the same thing. Colin.
these historic places, right? They have
Yeah.
they have these pictures that are made out of people's hair that have died.
Wow.
Like they take, and these are from time period. You know what I'm saying? Like, them have
Mhm.
them. It was a big thing back in the 1800s. If somebody died, you would take their hair and make a picture in a frame of something, like a flower or a bird or something like that.
Wow.
I mean, just think of the energy right there. You know?
Exactly. Well, you think about it, how did the hair look, and did you ever feel it, or?
Well, I know it's behind glass, but it looks like we're, just hair. Like,
Yeah, but you think about the hair is so old. Do you think hair can crumble? I mean,
I
like,
mean, yeah, I'm sure if you touched it, it might have fell apart, but they got it behind glass, so it might have held its form for a little bit, but it's crazy. It doesn't look like it grayed or anything. It's all the same color as it was.
wow.
Yeah.
Man, how about let me ask you a question? Like, could you ever let's say you go into a location, right? And I know you feel all the vibrations and all the all the feeling the thoughts of their Christmases and whatever they held there in that location, So do you ever have like, I don't know if what your gift is, but like, have you ever felt? I mean, have you ever thought their thoughts, like sort of
That's
like?
what Ed's good at. Like,
Oh, he is. Oh.
Ed's a little sensitive. Um, he's got extrasensory, so
Hmm.
a good asset to the team. Uh, my feeling's more of a gut feeling, and I think it's from.
Yeah.
So I'll drive past a location, and I'm like, I know there's something in there. I just have that feeling, and
Wow.
10 times out of 10, it hasn't let us down.
Okay, I got a question. Okay. A lot of people like investigating, right? And then there's another part of person, whatever. Like, do you think? Did you are you an investigator that you want to get knowledge of the place and the history of it and everything, or there's some people that like doing it for the thrill of investigating? Like,
Uh,
what are
what
you?
we and when me and Brent started this back decades ago, Brent, they and Bud were old, but when we started this, it was never to prove. You know what I'm saying? It was never to prove. We didn't want to prove anything. We did not want to produce, and we did not want to fake anything. The only thing we wanted to do was document the presence of. That's the only thing we like to do. We'd like to go out there and tie this place to
Mhm.
that voice or that spirit to that location.
But you have to admit, it's sort of like a rush for you, right? Like when it
Definitely.
happens, like
Like
you're
I said,
waiting for something to happen.
when we were August 6th was my first investigation back in like 6 years, and I was so excited. Like I was in there like, oh my goodness, I'm back. Like, I could just feel it, you know. I was in
Yeah.
there like as soon as I walked in, I could just feel the energy. I was like, man, I missed that. You could just feel like 1,000 eyes at you, and everything's so thick, and my arms are goose bumped up everywhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Right? It's like it's like you go in there, but you could feel if you're welcomed or not. You could feel like that. I don't know what's it called because I'm not an investigator, but like when you go in there and you're like it's a deep feeling was pushing you down.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
have you ever got that feeling before? What is that?
Oh,
What do you think that is?
there's spirits that that hated me for some reason, and I don't know why, because I've always tried good to everything. Like we're 100% respectful to spirits until we're disrespected. But there's a
Mhm.
few, and I think me and one of them actually were able to make amends. But there's still one that hates me for some reason. And when the place is now demoed, it's not around anymore. But there was a place called Von Paris that had a spirit named Gabor that hated me, and I have no idea why. I have no idea. But as soon as I would walk into that place, it just felt like you could feel the the heaviness just engulf me. Like I was like,
Energy, yeah.
I'm like, back off, dude. You better get off.
Wow. So yeah, so you think that so you think that energy that feeling I experienced in that place, it didn't want me there. It wanted me to leave.
Oh yeah, he definitely didn't want to, and I'm pretty sure, like we were talking about before, um, I'm pretty sure he was the controlling spirit, the one that controlled the interaction, and he was like,
Yeah.
here he is trying to talk to my people. I don't want him to. I'm going to do what I
Wow.
can to get him out of here. It never
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah. So do you feel that like when spirits are in a location that they died in, do you think that like let's say like graveyards, there's always someone in charge, a spirit that's in charge of them spirits. Do you think that's possible?
Yep, yep. We've always had that controlling spirit theory, um, and I believe 100% in it. There's always one that is more dominant than the rest of them, and they take control.
Let's
Oh,
go. I'm
oh, buddy.
sorry.
Oh,
Oh, let's talk about that, dude. Okay, like you're laying in bed. What is it called? Where someone's holding you down. Um,
sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. Yeah.
That was
Have
pretty
you
bad.
hate it?
Oh,
Oh.
oh, and here they are. They're all coming back to get me right now. I'll see if it gets me right now.
Okay. Okay. Um.
Let's just when I'm done an investigation that night, my 75-pound bull sleeps in the room with me just to make sure nothing follows me home.
Oh wow.
Out of the fence.
Have you ever slept there in the rest, like at a location?
Yep. So one of our locations that will remain nameless at this for this interview, but they gave me the keys to the place. I had the keys to the gate. I had the keys to the front door and the alarm code, and I could spend the night there. And I did
Wow.
with no camera, just a recorder. And I came in and I said, "Hey, I'm here to spend the night. Let's see what happens." And all night, I had a pillow and a blanket with me all night. Somebody was just pulling the blanket off my arm.
Wow. Did you catch it on camera?
No, I didn't. All I had was a recorder. I
Oh
did.
shit.
I did it all for just the experience, to experience it on my own.
Oh man, that would have been awesome to catch.
Wow, that is great.
Right? Yeah.
You might
Oh,
want to
sorry.
get some sage. You might
Wait,
want to get
wait.
some sage to start taking you out of the
Sorry.
bed like that.
But so with sage, is it true that it clears the energy, or do they have all kinds of sages? I mean, for any type of
I
spirit.
white sage. The white sage supposed to clear negative energy. Um, I don't know about clearing all energies, but
Yeah.
white sage took the negative energies out of your dwelling. And what I like to do is I like to pray and say, Lord, can you not allow these negative, unwanted things to come into my threshold? And typically that
Yeah.
works.
Wow, that is crazy. How about
Mm.
salt, like at the door or like under your pillow? Have you ever
I've
tried
heard.
that?
I've never tried it. Like I said, I always put up in faith. Um, but I've heard of stories of people using the salt and it actually working after a cleansing and not
Mm.
allowing it to come back in. So it's, there's definitely things out there where it has happened that way.
Yeah. I know you experienced a lot of things in your paranormal field and stuff like that, but I know a lot of some paranormal investigators. When I talk to them, like when, they felt like someone there with them, but it wasn't them. They're calling them in another room, but you could feel the guy. They can feel their partner right next to them. You know, have you ever experienced that before?
It's happened to us a few times where I would say what, and Brent was like, I didn't say anything. And I'm like, yes, you did. We actually caught it on recorder one time where a spirit took Brent's voice and played it back like 4 or 5 times on the recorder when he wasn't talking. He said, "Use my
Wow.
energy," and and he said, "Use my energy." And like 5 minutes later, it said, "Use my energy, my energy, my energy," in Brent's voice while Brent was
Wow.
talking. While he was talking.
Damn. No, can you explain that? Like, is it? Oh, what's it called? Like, a
Mimicking
doppelganger? For like
that novel.
doppelganger?
Yeah, that's not what you run across.
No.
Yeah, if you run across a ganger, that means you're gonna die. But
Yeah.
we called it a mimic. We thought it was an elemental, a
Mhm.
non-human spirit of the
Yeah.
earth, and it just stole his voice and back at him for a little bit.
Yeah. So,
That's
so go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm good.
Okay. Let's say. Okay. Have you ever went to do investigation in the forest?
We have before, and the one in La Plata, the one that was the Piscataway Indian ground.
Mm.
That was Brent went and buried a knife as an offering
Mm.
to the spirit, and I went on my own in the woods while he was in the house with the family doing their ITC session. And I went
Mm.
out on my own recorder and my camera, and we caught um, chanting, drums, flutes,
Wow.
and I could do it with my ears.
Yeah.
It was
Have you ever
very
seen
weird.
lights?
I didn't see any lights, but I heard the, and it was like, that is Native American music. Where the hell is this coming from? It is 20 degrees out here. Nobody's out here playing. What is going
Yeah.
on? It's 1:30 in the morning.
Exactly. Edward said it's hard to trust them when someone else uses them.
What's that? The thousand rods, Ed? That's my other investigator, Ed.
Hey, what's up, Ed?
Mimicking spirit. That's 2 parts of Pasadena Paranormal. The other part is right there, Jack.
Oh yeah, let's talk about your other channel, Pasadena Paranormal. What kind of
Yeah,
stuff do you do on that channel? No, you talk about paranormal,
um,
but
yeah, it's all paranormal. Like our Facebook page is going to be updates. Like I said, we're going to talk about doing public tours where we'll be able to bring the public in and do investigations with us and use our equipment and yada yada yada. So all that updates on investigation locations, uh, YouTube updates, stuff like that. Maybe try to get involved the community a little bit and help out where we can. Um,
yeah.
we're all into that.
Um,
Trying to
sorry.
we
Go ahead.
try to be the best. We try to put the best light on the paranormal as we can. We try to be very respectful in all aspects.
Yeah, that's true. You have to. You have to be respectful to our spirits. You know. I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
look at all spirits. They go through something. You know. Ask them, hey, are you okay today? Just like we would want that respect of when we die.
Oh yeah.
You know, right? Yeah, they're getting attacked by something. Might as well ask them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
can I help you with something? Do you need prayer? Do you need
You,
guidance?
you you can see in ourselves that's what we do. We're very respectful until we're disrespectful,
Hey,
and
Elaine.
then the gloves are off.
I know, right? They're all throwing things and everything else. You know. Um,
Uh,
how about offerings to the spirits, like
like I said,
tobacco and stuff like that?
now Brent, when he offered that knife um, for the Indian spirits out in La Plata, which was cool, and I think that is what brought that those drums and that flute and the chanting
Mhm.
that night for
Yeah.
Brent's offering. We also like to use trigger objects like the last investigation. We brought a German beer stein because we were getting the German language. Yeah, we try to use trigger objects no matter what. When we did Gettysburg, we were using Confederate gray hats, which I felt bad about because we were in a children's orphanage and I found out that we were scaring them.
Yeah. Right.
They called us bad men because we were wearing Confederate hats at the Union place. And after I did the review, I was like, damn, I'm such an ass.
Right.
So next time we go, we're going to be wearing blue hats.
Okay. All right. There you go. That's all good. How does a ghost become a particular type of ghost, like type of demon or whatever?
I think how you portray yourself in life is how you portray yourself in death. If you're an asshole in life, you're going to be an asshole in death. If you're a good person in life, you're going to be a light spirit in the afterlife. If you're a dark person, if you're angry, that's how you're going to be. That's just your personality, and it follows you. I mean, Einstein says energy never goes away. It changes state. I mean, you can change state from the physical to the non-physical, but your personality is still going to be the same.
Yeah, that's true. What are the three types of ghosts? I know we talked about that before.
Mhm.
The types of ghosts that are often seen in photographs, of course, that one. Mirrors, orbs, vortex, or body manifestations.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting right there. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I believe in the existence of light anomalies. I don't call them orbs; I call them light anomalies because I think the orb gets a bad name. People trying to pass things off as orbs, but a light anomaly is exactly that. It's a full light that we don't know what it is yet, or what
Right.
it was. When I see an orb, I like to call it a light anomaly. But we captured some good ones. Eli, I would love. I don't know if you have Facebook, but if you
I don't
have
got
Facebook,
Facebook.
dang, did you post that picture? We're going to post that picture on our Twitter. All right. There's
Okay.
the light anomaly in the bathroom. I want you to look at this. We have it. We have it. Just posted on Twitter. But Twitter, the Eli's on Twitter. I want you to look at it. It's or just watch. It's called the BTI, Behind the Investigation, the last one from Monday. We're describing this light anomaly. It's a little long. Brent likes to want to talk about things for a little bit, but we tried to debunk this light anomaly, and we can't. You can tell that it has heat signatures, it has depth, it has shadows, and we can't do anything to take that out of the picture. So it's not lens flare, and it's not reflection, because it has depth.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think it's episode 11. If you go to the playlist, the BTI playlist,
Episode 11?
Yep.
Okay, I'll check it out.
That is a very good show.
Yeah. How about poltergeist? Have you encountered one?
I'm sure we've never ran across one. I know that they're brought up through pent-up teenage aggression. Poltergeists typically come from teenage energy. A poltergeist is a non-human entity.
Mm-hmm.
It's brought on by teenage energy. Sort of like a manifestation of teenage energy outside of the body. That's the definition of a poltergeist, and they are the ones that can, step up, throw it, move it, stuff like that.
Okay, Elaine. Yeah, I don't do well, someone else used to do reading on my stream before, but I don't do it, Elaine, so I'm just letting you know. So she's not with us no more on our channel. So how about spirit animals? Let's go to that. Have you seen one before?
We've ran across. Yeah, we've. There's one of our locations has a ghost cat that frequents the place. Like to run across, you can
Yeah.
hear it run across the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. You could. We've actually captured, light anomalies that stretch themselves out to the size of a cat. So you got your light anomaly that's actually moving across the video that is the size of a cat down on the ground.
Wow, that is wild. Yeah, there's times at night where I'm laying down and I hear, just metal scratches, like metal, like
Mhm.
But that was a long time ago though.
Yep.
Do you believe in spirit guides?
Spirit guide?
Do you, spirit guides?
Oh,
Do you think
spirit
you
guide.
have one?
It could be. Like I'm a religious based traveler, so put that on Twitter. I'm religious based, so I think it's possible. Like our family members could be spirit guides.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know they're not gone forever. They're here. So they're just not on our dimension. So if they want to intervene with your life here and there, I'm pretty sure that could happen.
Yeah. I never seen one before. No, I've never seen one either. I haven't.
I'll never forget seeing my dad.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, man.
I was 14. It was a long time ago, but I think it was just him saying, "Hey, bud, I'm okay. Don't worry about it." And I've never seen him since.
Wow. He's always there, man. He's always watching. I think I think maybe you were going through a stressful time in life, maybe, and he wanted to tell you, "Hey, I miss you too." Wow.
Yep.
Were you thinking about him at the time?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I was sitting there cleaning off his headstone of how he was.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I thank him because
Sorry.
I thank him though because without him, I wouldn't be doing this, and I'm having a good time doing it.
Exactly. I like asking questions. Like when you, I mean, it fascinates me that you guys just go out there and like put your lives on the line, really, because you never know when you're gonna fall through a hole in the ground or whatever. Even though if it's safe, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Anything.
You could definitely run into a dark energy that's gonna put a nice little.
Exactly. It can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you could wake up at night and you see a shadow on the side of your bed, or maybe someone pulling your legs. I mean, you never know when your senses are going to heighten. You never know.
Exactly.
I mean,
that world is very very odd and unexplained.
wow.
Needs to further the research and doing the right way of research to figure out what the hell is going on over there on that side.
Yeah, I gotta mention that, Beth. Like, I mean, I know they always say don't step on the grave, and imagine the old graves from the 1800s. You fall right through. They say never lean on one, never disrespect or spit on the grave.
Never. Actually, we have a location that we went to the family graveyard a few weeks ago. It's one of my favorite locations to investigate. I won't say the name, but we went to the graveyard, and one of the people that we interact frequently, her grave was there, and it was overgrown, and grass was growing over it. So I literally headstone off so you could see the date. You could see
Wow.
I wanted to, I said, "Hey Lola, I'm gonna show you respect off your grave." Just as again, like a gesture of respect for the house and there's within. I hope she said I hope she realized what I did, and the next time we go in, we get some pretty cool information.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, you're walking through this old graveyard, and you don't know if you're actually stepping on one because there's no headstone.
Oh yeah, that place was so not maintained. Like it was so not maintained. The maintenance men should be fired at that place. You know,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Because
what are y'all doing here?
exactly. I mean, especially at night. You know what I mean? Like,
We hardly ever go to graveyard. We used to when we were younger, but like I said, ever since
hmm.
we got back in trying to get the big name places around here that when people say, "Holy crap,
Yeah,
Pasadena Paranormal did that place," how the hell did they do that?
yeah. Here's what Val said. I do that in cemeteries a lot and fix things. And she goes, pardon me, excuse me.
Yeah, when I'm walking in a cemetery, if I step on something, I say, "I'm sorry, oh, sorry, excuse me, I didn't mean it."
You'll bump into them.
So
Oh,
let
what's
them
that?
know.
You know what I mean? But you never know. You never know what that
Hey,
graveyard used to
sorry,
be.
no,
Yeah. But you think about it, like, you die
exactly.
and you're buried there. You never know if it was Indian ground
Mm-hmm.
way before it used to be, such graveyard like they have now, the fancy names they put. Yeah. It's a graveyard.
The big thing about one of the big parts of the Gettysburg battlefield, where Devil's Den is, little round top, big round top, slaughter pen, that area of the battlefield was all Native American land.
Oh wow. That is wild. I mean, you can sense, dude. You can
Yeah,
sense,
so that was
you
all
know,
Native American land there.
yep. I mean, you can say you have to have some kind of
Yeah,
sense. Oh, go ahead.
I've seen,
But you can. You can have all kinds of sense.
yeah, I've seen two
Yeah. Sorry.
apparitions.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen two apparitions just in that area.
That is
Union
wild.
soldiers. Mm-hmm.
Did they say anything? Did they
They're there
approach
still.
you?
When I No, they just one was just staring off like he had his hand on the tree. I couldn't make out eyes. I seen blue hat. I seen rosy cheeks. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And he was just standing there like, and when I looked back over, he was gone. But I asked during one of the sessions, I asked, "Why are you guys here?" And it comes through. The general won't let me leave.
Wow. That's crazy. It's
So
sort
they're
of
still
like
there
you're
fighting.
still
The
on duty.
general won't let them leave. They're
Wow.
on duty still. You know, like you got orders to stay here until this thing's over. Clearly, it ain't over till.
Wow. Wow. It makes me a target for spirits, and I don't like kind pilgrims, for example. Hey, Justy. Yeah, it does. I
Hey,
mean, what
how
like
are you?
pilgrims? Oh man.
Yeah, that
Well, okay.
I've seen a few time periods. I've seen a few time periods myself. So there's period apparitions. They're out there.
Yeah, they are out there.
It's funny though. I've always seen the 18th. Nothing else.
Yeah, it is. Like, I
Except
mean, I honestly think because your love for history, and I think the history comes alive for you in your own eyes. You know, I mean, like phantom
oh yeah,
smells, of course, like that. Like, have you ever had to have
yep.
phantom smells where you're
There's
laying there and
nothing.
you're like, what the
There's
hell?
nothing on investigation. A lot. You're like, who's smoking? You're like, that's a damn cigar. Smoke the cigar here. Where the hell did that come from?
Wow,
Who's drinking
crazy,
cognac?
right? I got a. I think that's what you meant. Oh, the other night in the spirit box. Wow, you got called. Wow, that's crazy, man.
And that's what my grandfather used to say, that word engine. So that could be an older spirit.
Yeah, dude, it could be.
That's
But
cool, though.
yeah, man. Just D, how's it going?
He's just letting you know. He's just letting you know he's there. Nothing to be worried about. Say
Yeah,
hi to him and acknowledge
exactly.
presence, and be good to go.
How about past life
And
experiences? I'm sorry, go ahead. No, you go first, go ahead. My bad.
I want to hear your story before we get off here.
Okay, how I
You're the one that was actually a spirit here.
well, okay. All right. Okay, so um I called the ambulance. All I remember is just
Mm-hmm.
that's it, flatlining. Couldn't breathe. I was passed out, whatever. I remember being in the void. People were saying, "Help me, God, help me!" Don't leave me here, and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, I hear a phone call. I hear a phone ringing, and I wake up. I wake up, and they're putting stuff down my body, and they put me on the shelf as a bear, and then it goes to one thing to another, where they're doing brain surgery on me, and then one thing to another, I go to another place. It's like I'm getting tormented through my whole time. I mean, I'm
Are you
seeing the
like?
doctors, the room.
Are you
I'm
seeing
sorry.
yourself? Are you
Yeah,
seeing yourself?
yeah. I
Wow.
seen the hospital room. I seen the trait. I didn't know what it was 'cause I didn't know what was going on.
So
I
you're
seen the
like
trait and
looking
everything.
down.
Yes,
You're like looking. Oh my
I was looking at
goodness.
myself, and I
That
remember
would.
looking. I remember like there was this doctor or whatever, this nurse, whatever. He would sneak off in the bathroom and everything else, and to be with some other girl, and it came out true later on. How he got
Wow,
fired, but I would
man.
see my mom
They
like,
like right past you
yeah,
too, right? They
yeah,
walk right past you
yeah,
like you weren't there. That's
yeah, and
yeah.
I see my mom arguing with two doctors saying that they need to put my trait in. It's like right over here. You see evidence right there, and like I knew it. They were on the hospital bay arguing with them, and I mean, there was just one time where there was a nail stuck in my foot, and I couldn't get it out, and then I ended up in this building. I mean, it was so much going on, and I was seeing things through my eyes, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can't touch anything. You see all your loved ones, and they're
They,
just doing you wrong or doing, it's crazy. I mean, as a spirit, it's you move things with your mind, and I was a weak spirit because I was barely new at what I was
mm-hmm.
doing, and I was just going to one place to another. I had no way of controlling it,
That's
you
crazy.
know, and
I would completely lost if I was standing above my body and seeing what you were seeing. Knowing my personality, I would have
yeah,
completely lost. I would
yeah,
have went nuts.
and
I was like, tell me what the hell's going on here.
but
What
there
the
was this lady. There was this guy. He was yeah. There was this guy. I was balled up in the room like this, little, curled up, and he goes, hey. He goes, you're never gonna see your family. And then all of a sudden, his eyes were just turning black, and he goes, "You're not seeing your family." And he's like, "You're a loser.
Right.
You're nothing. You're just a blah 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 blah." He was just cussing at me. Then it goes to one scenario to another, where the girl's pulling out my throat, and she was all like, "You need to get this done." It was just like a male voice. It was a Japanese girl, and then I seen her when I woke up. Like it was
Same nurse?
mind, huh?
Oh, it was the same nurse. Because I
Same
thought she
nurse I
was a.
seen her. Every one of them I
Oh,
seen.
golly.
Everyone. And what the weirdest thing was, I seen this because I did physical therapy the last 2 months. I'm done with it until next month because insurance how they are. And I
Yeah.
seen this one physical therapy nurse, and then she came up to me. She said, "Do I know you?" She was the one that was helping build me a new throat when I was still dead because machines was breathing for me and everything. And it was just so chaotic. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
like I remember going in this deep, deep, deep hole, and seeing these people from the 1800s. They were building a little bridge. It
Mm-hmm.
was weird. They put like sand in the bag, and they were like, "We're gonna pay you to go back home." but you got to kill somebody. And I was like, what?
What?
It was weird, dude. And then I ended up in a big old dumpster. And I was trying to oh man, it was nuts. It was
Like,
nuts all the time.
thanks for coming, Court. I see you in there.
Yeah.
Was everything like in slow motion now?
It was fast.
Oh, no.
It was.
Like I would have lost it. I'd have been
Here's
here's
one thing. Here's one thing. I was walking, right. It was dark. Seen nothing. I seen people walk by. I don't know how I seen them, but I seen them. It was really dark, and these things were chasing me. Black things. It was just like you could feel the hate. Like they want to tear you apart. They want to tear your soul. I belong to them. Property and everything else.
Yeah.
And it was just they were just chasing me, and like it was just. I remember that there was pipes, and I was hanging from the pipes with these with metal chains, and they were with the water hose cleaning me, and they're like, "You're mine. You're not going anywhere." Like the deep voice. And then they would just throw me into a metal room, lock me up with these three other guys. And then they would tell our life stories. They're like, well, you did this, you did this, no one's here to save you, you're here in a place where you belong, and boom, you're done, you're stuck there. Not today, Satanville. There's more to it, man. We'll talk later about it. I don't really. It's something tragic. I mean, I woke up. When I woke up, I remember I was in delirium a little bit. I remember hearing stuff.
After all that, I guarantee you were.
Yeah. It was crazy. I remember one time.
I gotta get the hell out of
here. Yeah, I remember. I swear I was awake. I was tired, but I was awake, and I was watching TV. Like in they have a cabinet here, a TV here, cross there. And I remember it's the same when I was dead. I seen it. I seen what the room looked like, and all of a sudden the TV turned off, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" And all of a sudden you hear a little girl, "I'm here." I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. It was wild. It was like crazy. But you hear God. Well, I heard God at the end. He was giving me a chance to come back, and I came back. And I could hear the trumpets. I could hear the love. I could hear tribal music, and it was really awesome, man. Like, I thank God every day I'm here. Thank God I have you guys back in my life, and I'm doing this.
You're back and you can through your experience show that you heard God,
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. That's a good
thing.
See,
I can't sit here and be like, because every spirit's different when they die, right? I can't actually tell you, dude. I can't tell you, oh, that spirit's fake or this and that or this, because some spirits are different when they die. They look at some people are attached to things because they don't want to be judged. God showed me. Here's what God showed me. There was this guy. He died right out of his car. My feeling was it was his daughter's birthday, right? And so he came out driving the driveway. He died of a heart attack, and he went back to his. It's like a rewind. He went back to his car, got out, and died. Like, but you could see his face. He was so tired of it doing it.
Replaying over and over.
Replaying. What makes me think is he could be saved, but how and what? I remember his house used to be something else. I remember seeing older black male and a female being a spirit in the garage, and they were going up and down, up and down. But this guy and this woman were controlling this control. It was like a desk, but they were just viewing the spirit. There was times I was in my house floating, this lady's. Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild.
Goes back to that control and spirit thingy.
Yeah.
Theory. It's definitely. I think it's true.
Yeah.
I stand pretty much behind it.
Exactly. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think we had a good time, huh?
Everybody
Jack,
oh yeah.
You have a good time? Jax, did you have a good time?
Did Jax?
Yes. Yes. Brent said he wiped the phone out, and I gotta give you my address, and he's gonna send me that the thingy, the Echo Box.
Oh wow! Where's my Echo Box?
Thank you, Brent. He told me, he said he's gonna send me. He has a phone that he cleared out that has the English and the Scottish on it, and I gotta give you my address, and you're gonna send it to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did somebody, and they didn't want it, so it's sitting there. So now that we found somebody,
Okay. Whenever you get time, I'm just excited for it. I'll get you my address. I'm like, yay, thank you, Brent.
Believe me, he's been looking to give that thing to somebody for a while now. So
Yeah,
if you want it,
yay!
no bullshit. He wants to send that out to somebody.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you.
Yeah, where's my pizza, man? Like, what's up? Crust between the butt cheeks, yo.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm so excited to get this thing. I can't wait to use that and tell my boyfriend I got the Echo Box, bro.
Oh yeah, she's gonna use it. I know she is. Hell yeah.
Came from Pasadena Paranormal.
Exactly.
I'm excited. I will tell everybody. I'll put it on Twitter. Look what I got. Look what I got.
Right.
I think. Are we good? Are you guys good?
Oh yeah, we're good. Did you want to share with your channel again? And what's your next investigation?
So the channel's Jared Tracey Paranormal Investigator as of now. I'm thinking about changing it to Pasadena Paranormal because we are a team again. So that might be a name change. It might be, but the Facebook page is Pasadena Paranormal on Facebook. We're on Twitter as Jared Paranormal. That might be getting changed. And Pasadena Paranormal on Instagram. Our next investigation is going to be October 16th at a 1600s, late 1600s colonial I can't say much on this location until we're there. They don't want to put the location out as of yet. Thank you, Justy. I hope you enjoy the content. There's 3 videos.
Awesome.
Three every week we'll be uploading, but we'll be going live from this investigation. So,
Oh wow, when? Okay.
Yep. And if you have Instagram, we'll be going live on that as well.
Oh, okay, Instagram. I gotta get it.
A little 15, 20-minute live at the beginning of the investigation, and maybe 15, 20-minute live during the middle one.
Okay, cool.
Yep. But that location, it's never been investigated. There's so much history of our area in Pasadena, Maryland.
Leave a comment. Watch a video. Okay, do it right thing.
Ask Eli. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff, dude. It's good stuff. It is awesome, man. I enjoy his videos. I enjoy him coming up here, and I thank you for sharing your journey, man.
I enjoyed being on here, and we can do it again if you want.
Yeah.
One day.
Okay. That's fine. Well, I really want to. Sorry.
And I got 2 or 3 documentaries coming out, so let those get out, and we can do this again. And we can talk about them.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All righty.
Well, guys, thank you for coming up, man.
On there.
Yeah, thank you for coming, Jared. I'm glad that we got together and got this interview. I saw you on Twitter. I said,
well, I'm glad people are enjoying what we're putting out. It makes me happy.
Well, oh, you're welcome, man, and God bless you, man, and hope everything goes great in your next investigation. And be safe, you know.
Yep,
you don't know what's.
Page would be the best place for updates for Pasadena Paranormal.
Okay. I don't have Facebook, but I mean, got Twitter.
Yeah, whatever goes on Facebook's going to go on Twitter.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, y'all. Well,
all right, guys. All right, you too.
Y'all have a good one. Good night, everybody.
Oh, you too. Well, guys, thanks for coming, and Thank you. Thank you for being a part of our journey and for letting us be a part of yours. And hope to see you guys back. Was it next Thursday? We're gonna be back. Remember, guys, stay positive, stay strong, and God bless you, and have a good night.
Bye, everybody.